Okay, so it hasn't even been a week since my last video, but I'm always changing my plans and doing something different than what I originally said I'm going to do. The lows are in the 70s this upcoming week, and the highs are in the low 80s. And we have rain forecast every day for the next solid week. I'm going to try and plant carrots. The University of Florida website says that we can plant carrots in September. My theory is that this is fall and it might get too warm again for carrots, but I don't really have anything to waste. I have tons of, I think they're Danvers. Yeah, the Danvers 126 carrots. I have tons of packets of those. I don't know how I got so many. And then every time I order from Baker Creek, the free seed that I seem to get is the coral carrots. I also have the pelleted carrots that I ordered and the seed tape that I ordered. So if these don't sprout, I don't feel like I've wasted anything. I'm also going to plant some alyssum. I have like my pollinator gardens, and alyssum will survive in some low temperatures. I'm also going to plant some snapdragons when it finally cools off, seeds, when it finally cools off. I direct sow all my pollinators. If they don't pop up, they don't pop up, whatever, in those pollinator beds. So I want the alyssum as like the carpet. So I'm going to plant that as well. It's actually raining right now. I don't know if you can tell, but you know. And then the other day when I planted the peas with y'all, I realized I have a third trellis and I didn't plant any peas near that third trellis. So I found another pack of, these are Oregon sugar pods. So I am going to plant them on my third trellis while I'm out here. So these are the Danvers 126, and this is one of the carrots that the University of Florida suggests for our area. Carrot seeds are super tiny. These are only 75 days to harvest. And then on the back of the package, it actually says August, October is when you sow these. So maybe I'm doing something right this time. Carrot seeds are super tiny, and so I have 2 packets of these. So I'm just going to chaotically spread them across this small area that I reserved for carrots. And then if any of them sprout, because I'm not good with carrots, I'll just thin them. This is the compost that I put in the other day, and it's the horse compost that has a good amount of sand in it. So this should be pretty good loomy soil, and then the depth of this is 12 inches. So should be like the perfect spot to grow carrots. I've tried the cardboard method before, and something like would get under the cardboard and like tunnel all through it. I'm assuming some type of bug or something, maybe even like ants. So I never had any success growing carrots that way. It's where you like put the seeds down wet and like soak the cardboard. I tried the board method where you put the board down. That did not work for me. And I tried just sowing them and scratching them kind of around in the ground. Yeah, it didn't work for me. I'm trying to think of there was a method where somebody like put the carrots down and then just put straw over the top. Didn't get a single one to sprout that way either. No idea what I'm doing wrong because I've tried all the methods. So like I said, I have the carrot tape and the pelleted carrot seed, which I'm really hopeful that that will solve all my issues. But because it's going to rain for the next week and the soil is going to stay really moist, I decided to give this a try. I'm going to go get some sand to sprinkle over the top of where I just put those. So let me go get a scoop of sand really quick. So now that I went and caught the sand, told y'all I'm like pretty feral and just use what I have. So just gonna sprinkle it all on top of where I just put those seeds. I didn't want to top this back off with compost because I figure compost is pretty heavy. So some of the places that I read about carrots said to use sand. And the good news is that I have plenty of sand in one of our dirt lots. So, all right, let's go to the other side and plant it the same way. I am praying that this is the year that I break the curse of I can't grow carrots, and maybe if I just sow an insane amount of carrot seeds, there's no way I can fail, right? Let's see, how many carrot seeds does it claim are in this? Oh no, it just says 1 gram. 1.9 grams. It doesn't say how many seeds they think that is. Like, I know inside one of them said 250. I was like, oh, 250 carrots, that's a lot. You know, the funny thing is, I'm planting all these carrots. I'm the only one in my family who actually eats carrots. My little boy will sometimes eat like raw ones with ranch, but pretty much the rest of the family does not eat carrots at all. Yeah, and if all these germinate, I'm going to have a lot of thinning to do. Okay, now we'll just cover those with sand as well. I didn't see if the temperature was on these. No, it doesn't have the temperatures on these. This pack is the same variety. This is how different, okay, this is how different things can be. This one says 8 to 12 days for germination, 75 days to harvest, so that's the same. But on the back of it, it says August to September is when you sow them. So even the packages have discrepancies. I don't really know when the farms around here plant carrots. I know when they harvest them, it's usually like, I think March and April. I don't even know, like, we really do have a lot of carrot farmers around here because the truckloads of carrots will come by. I'm just not sure when they choose to plant them. I'm not originally from here, so back home where I'm from, we farm a lot of tomatoes. And then around here, they farm a lot of corn. And we do sweet corn back home too. Around here, they farm a ton of carrots, sweet potatoes, and corn, and tobacco. So it differs greatly from, I mean, I'm just from 2 hours west of here, so what they plant differs. I don't know that there are any tomato farmers around here. Okay, now that that's all soaked in, I'm not gonna hit this with a water hose because, like I said, it's raining and it's supposed to rain all night long. So I'm just gonna let nature do its thing. And pray that this works this time for the carrots. Now let's go plant some peas. This is a bed that I used for the first time last year, and I grew cucumbers all in this on the front and the back. I'm gonna plant peas on the front and back as well. And then I grew squash across the front. So I'm gonna grow peas up this trellis, and I don't know why I forgot about it the other day because I planted both of the other trellises in the garden and then completely forgot about this one. But we'll grow these Oregon sugar pods because they're something that I had sitting around. I have friends that give me seeds all the time. Like, they'll buy them with the intention that they're going to start gardening, and then they don't start gardening for whatever reason. And I don't know why, because I think a lot of people get frustrated with gardening. I've been doing this solo. I guess this is going into my 9th year. I don't know, like 10th year. My daughter's 9, so I've been doing it longer than her. Anyway, I don't really know how long I've been doing this. I'd have to look back at pictures here. So I think people get frustrated with gardening, like when they can't grow something one season, and each season is so different. Like, you're gonna have things thrive one season and not the next. This year I had tons of cucumbers that thrived, and the year before, like, I had no cucumbers at all. It was like the craziest thing. So you can't expect each season something. And then, like I've said before, like you always sow peas 1 inch apart. So I just chaotically spread these around. These are a vining pea, unlike the ones I planted yesterday, the day before yesterday. I don't really remember when I was out here. I think it was the day before yesterday. But so I have pretty thick straw in this for mulch. These beds were drying out pretty fast in the heat, and actually as I'm like planting these, I can tell that they're holding a bunch of moisture up under here now. But I also bought some for these beds. I went and bought Goya's. It's the terracotta water holder thing. I don't know what you'd call it. Anyway, water reservoir. Maybe that's the term I should be using. That I'm going to put in these for, I bought 4, so I need 2 more. I catch them when they're on sale. They run really good sales, and you can get, it's usually like two for something. And so I'm going to put those in them, not for the winter. My beds stay pretty moist in the winter, but next year, before the summer growing season, or spring growing season, spring and summer growing season, I'm going to put Goya's into these so that hopefully it'll hold moisture a little bit better. I don't know if these are just so compact that they dry out easy here in Florida. My bigger beds don't dry out like that, but these smaller ones are drying out. I've tried to add a bunch of mulch and organic matter in them to help, and it's not really helping. So I'm thinking the Goya's might be my saving grace. All right, I think that's enough for this side because I just did like this back half so that it'll grow up the trellis, and then I'll plant like broccoli or a cute cabbage. I also have these really cool, I bought, I'm trying to think, tennis ball lettuce from Baker Creek. So I think those will be cute little compact things to grow across the front of these beds. All right, let's go to the back side and plant it. If you have any recipes for snow peas or Oregon sugar pods, I would love to have them. Like I said, I grew snap peas last year, and I'm like the only person who ate them out of the garden, but I would eat them out here in the garden before I ever made it to the house with any of them. I think I made stir fry with them once. My family said they tasted green. Anyway, I don't know what's up with my family. They're very basic vegetable eaters, and even I am too, but I will eat the green peas. I think they're amazing. So we eat pretty basic vegetables, tomatoes, squash. They don't really like eggplant, but I can batter it and fry it. You know, the good old Southern, dip it in some hot grease, and they'll eat it that way. They'll eat like I said, squash, cucumbers made into pickles. I do have a couple who will eat them raw. I don't eat them raw. I only eat cucumbers as pickles. I think they taste like dirt. My family does love salad, so I'm going to try and grow more salad greens this winter, and spinach. The fall growing season is really our season because we eat lots of cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, collard greens. I think we eat more winter vegetables, Brussels sprouts, but I'm not going to waste my time growing Brussels sprouts this year. They just take way too long, and I'm not successful with them here in Florida. So we're more of a fall vegetable family. A lot of people like growing in the spring and the summer better. And I guess if you're in a different climate than here, you would probably like that better. But it's just so hot here. And I feel like I fight bugs and humidity and high chances of rain all throughout the spring. So the fall is actually my favorite time to grow. I do like pollinator gardens though, and you don't really get those in the fall as much as you do in the summer. So in that aspect, I like spring gardening better, but I like the vegetables of the fall garden more than the summer garden. And I hardly ever have pests in my fall garden. I just enjoy the fall garden a lot more. But I hear people say all the time they don't like the fall garden. This alyssum does great into the fall. I get these packets from the Dollar Tree. They're the 4 for $1 ones. I know everybody was buying them for 1 cent a few weeks back. None of my Dollar Trees had them left. They had already cleared the shelves. These grow really well. I love all of their I've grown zinnias from there. I've grown marigolds from there. I think I grew the black-eyed Susans that I grew last year were from there. Sunflowers from there. So I have some morning glories growing somewhere from there. I love them. I just chaotically spread these sweet alyssum seeds around. I'm sure some of them don't germinate and then they just create. I can show you where some have already sprouted. My packet got wet because of the rain. So they're all like stuck on the inside. Okay, now we got it. Okay, so those will sprout, and I can show you what they will look like when they sprout because I already planted some in another garden. I don't remember what this is. My mom bought it for me. I saw it at a zoo and she went and bought it for me. And then I don't remember what this is either. I got it out of the Lowe's clearance section. I go there and I look for perennials that will flower again because I'm trying to replace a majority of the plants in these pollinator gardens with perennials or things that will self-seed and come back the next year. That way it's just a little bit less work each year. Especially I have a huge pollinator one and I want it to just come back naturally every year by itself. This is the sweet alyssum that I planted a few weeks ago, and like I said, I just did it the exact same way. I just chaotically spread it out and around, and it just gets these cute little white blooms, and it's a really good filler. You can already see the rain filling in where we just planted all of those carrots. So coming along with me as I chaotically planted a few more things in the garden. Oh, there's some poop. I don't see the caterpillar though. But there's one somewhere. Anytime you see these little balls of poop laying around, that means there's a caterpillar. Like, look right there. There's a ton of them. I don't see the caterpillar though. Anyway, ADHD got the best of me. Anyway, so I hope that y'all enjoy coming along with me as I'm a planner, but sometimes I throw caution to the wind and chaotically do this because I'm kind of have a theory that if it doesn't work out, we can always try again. So happy planting.